Let us not dawdle, for there are grudges to settle, and new entries in the Dammer's Cron to write.
Howdy, howdy, Suitable here, and welcome to a guest battle featuring jbec on the Dwarves versus Chaos. Now, you may know jbec. We randomly ran into each other on ladder. He was playing the Vampire Coast for the very first game I played the Dowie against the Coast, and he came into the comments and said hello, and we got together since, and we played a few games, and he showed me some replays, and did some testing together, really fun stuff. So he showed me this replay, and I'll just go over a few things really quick, but he's got a line of Longbeards in the front with 4 chevrons, and he's got 5 of them in these. With the 4 chevrons, I said to him, "Oh man, I know from testing that's a really good sweet spot for the Longbeards with their chevrons. I mean, that's kind of a stat sweet spot." And he says, "I know, I watched it in one of your videos." I was like, had sort of a weird moment, like where I realized somehow that people do see my videos and will use some of the advice and make armies with these sorts of things. It was a sort of a strange moment. Anyways, really cool army. It's got a front line of Longbeards. They're just there to hold. All the power is in this back line. These Thunders and these Uthar's Raiders are meant to do the business. Thunders have armor piercing. They do a ton of damage. And these Uthar's Raiders have marked by Uthar. Minus 30 armor, minus 22% missile resistance, minus 24 missile parry with shield. And he also has Giant Slayers back here, and obviously be ready for Kolek, ready for Sathoril, cavalry, these sorts of things, and of course the Dragonback Slayers, who are awesome. He does have for his leadership the Runesmith with, oh god, it's so hard to get this. Okay, the Hammer of Karak draws, which I love, minus 44 melee attack, minus 25% weapon damage for 50 seconds. Also, Rune of Negations, 22% damage resistance, and the Rune of Wrath and Rune, which does damage to a unit and causes them to run very slowly, minus 48% speed. And he does have Thorgrim Grudgebearer right here, and Thorgrim has a pretty good loadout. Stand your ground, plus 27 melee defense, plus 16 leadership over 40 meters. This awesome new ability he has, Oath of Vengeance, minus 27 melee defense, and he can cast it from 200 meters away for 44 seconds. And he does have the Great Book of Grudges, 55 meters, huge radius. Look at all the units he's hitting with that plus 9 melee attack, and he has the High King. So if his leadership is higher than 50% and hit points lower than 50%, he has a map-wide boost to all his units of essentially, well, it's plus 12% weapon damage, plus 8% charge bonus, plus 8 melee attack, and immunity to psychology. So the army he is facing here is led by Archaon the Everchosen. I'm just going to start it slowly, but because we have Hell Cannons here, and he does have 2 Hell Cannons. These 2 Hell Cannons, they do magic damage, so they're not going to be Frenzy. Gives everyone Frenzy. Sorry, I don't know why that slipped my mind. Anyways, these Hell Cannons do magic damage, and the Dowie have 25% resistance to magic damage. They still do a ton of damage, though. And each of these Hell Cannons have a group of Chaos Marauders here defending them. And I'm going to hit play. He does have 4 Chaos Warriors with great weapons. The Chaos Warriors with great weapons are the creme de la creme, the pound-for-pound champs of armor-piercing infantry, the best in the game. He does have 2 units of Chosen with great weapons. I was talking to jbec too, and he said, "I didn't even realize these were Chosen with great weapons. I just thought they were Chaos Warriors." And he does have Aspiring Champions, which we know from our testing are a pretty good little unit. And he has also Archaon the Everchosen, who has the standard die, plus 27 melee defense. He has Foe Seeker. He has Flaming Sword of Ruin, plus 25% damage, and it's magical and fire, which is not great. He does have Cascading Fire Cloak for the 27 melee defense, and the Crown of Domination for 4 leadership and immune to psychology, and the Kindle Flame. So here we go. We're going to get the fight going. These Chaos Marauders are going to start to engage, and right away, jbec's going to try and get around with his Giant Slayers, and he's going to try and get around with his regular Slayers just to flank and get into these Hell Cannons. This front line is going to get in there, and Thorgrim's just going to get in there and start fighting, and these guys are going to start doing some damage. Uthar's Raiders, we've got the Rune of Wrath and Ruin on these Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and we've got the Runesmith in, and we're doing tons of damage. Just look at the damage those guys are putting down. It's just incredible. And we've got the both of the Hell Cannons are shooting into the Thunders. They are doing a massive amount of damage to the Thunders, so he's got to get over there. So he's pushing through with his Giant Slayers, and his regular slayers. He's got to get in there. Still doesn't realize these are chosen with the great weapons. He's like, he's like just thinking, I got to get into those hell cannons. I got to stop them. So back here, these Longbeards are doing fine against the Chaos Marauders, and we got this big kind of mess of a fight up here. We got the Aspiring Champions, and we've got Thorgrim going after the Chaos Warriors with great weapons, and we have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, is going to put a beat down here, and he's still trying to get his Giant Slayers through the Hell Cannons. Those Hell Cannons are just beating down these Thunders. And these Thunders, he wants to keep them online, he wants to keep them shooting, and if you don't get rid of the Thunders, they can come back to haunt you in the late game. They're such a great little unit if you can keep them alive and around. So the fight's going okay here. The Longbeards are handling this front line. These Chaos Warriors of the Hammer of Carrick draws minus 44 melee attack, so basically... Oh, it just ended. Basically, they have 0 melee attack, so they can keep things going. We've got a group of Longbeards and a group of Giant Slayers against the Hell Cannon and the Chosen with great weapons. They do have plus 27 melee defense with a Cascading Fire Cloak, and over on this side, same sort of deal. These Slayers are up against... This is never a situation you want your Slayers in, but there is no large in this army. So, I mean, you might as well send them against those Hell Cannons. Here, you've got these Thunders. They're just going to tee off. As soon as they rally, these Thunders are just going to turn. He's going to turn them in. They're going to tee off on these Chaos Warriors. As soon as these guys rally, it's just going to turn and tee off on the Chaos Warriors. And Thunders can do great right into the late game. These Uthar Raiders are coming back. Hopefully they'll get a volley into these Chaos Warriors as well. You can see that because they do so much damage. There we go. Just look at the damage they do. They're going to instantly rout these guys, and these guys are both going to be able to shoot. And now that the Hell Cannons have been taken offline, you can see this Hell Cannon, you know, it's inundated, and this Hell Cannon is inundated. These Thunders can sort of go to work, and these Longbeards have won against the Chaos Marauders, and they're going to come back and help out on this side. And we still got this big pocket going on in here, and Thorgrim has been fighting with Archaon, and now Archaon is going to start taking some nasty damage from these Uthar's Raiders. These Uthar's Raiders do a ton of damage, and is he going to get... he's got Standard Eye. There he goes. He's got marked by Uthar. Now the damage is going to start to come in. Just look at how fast the damage goes down with these guys. They got at least one more volley on them. They're going to get into Archaon, and he's got his Thunders are going to come in and shoot, and Archaon is going to start taking a ton of damage because he has that marked by Uthar, and he has two groups of Thunders, though they're depleted, and this group of Uthar's Raiders shooting in on him, and you can see how fast his health are going down. Like, you got to get rid of these Thunders, or just look at that. They're going to actually get him routing. So they've got Archaon routing, and right here, jbec sends Thorgrim. He's just going to come after this group. He wants to make sure that Hell Cannon stays shut down because all his Thunders are still online. They're shooting Archaon. He's going to try and push Archaon off the field, and he's going to bring these guys up to help Thorgrim. He still doesn't realize these are chosen. This is awesome. He's like, as soon as they started fighting, he's like, what's going on with Thorgrim? And then he looked, he's like, oh my god, those are chosen with great weapons. It was a really fun conversation when we went over this game, but we got Longbeards. They got two Chevrons. They're going to hold their own. They're going to keep going. Chaos Marauders. And we got the great weapons over here, and these Hell Cannons are going to try and come back and get on their Hell Cannon. Is this Hell Cannon destroyed over here? Nope, it looks like it's still available, so he's just trying to... This guy's just trying to get his Hell Cannons away and fight this battle. So here we go. This is the thing. We've got Thorgrim in here, and this is really unfortunate. He's actually procced his High Kick for everybody. Everyone's got extra stats and they're immune, but these Chosen are just doing... They are just crushing Thorgrim. They're all armor piercing, and here we go, 68. He's still got his leadership is still up, 28, and Thorgrim gets killed there, and that is really unfortunate. This is right when jbec said, oh my god, he noticed that they were actually chosen in there. It's like, crap. So he was trying to chase off Archaon. Archaon's actually pretty quick. He's got 41 speed, and he couldn't catch him, so now he's got to send back in here. And these guys, even though they're wavering, they had 6 leadership, they've been able to get these Aspiring Champions and those Chaos Warriors. They've been able to break them and shatter them, and he's still got this fight here going. He's just bringing in his group of Uthar's Raiders. They do have armor piercing. They can get something done. And over on this side, still fighting. We've got this group of Longbeards, you know, well, they're going to rout now, but, you know, they've been fighting against Chosen and doing a good job. We've got some more Longbeards here fighting against Chaos Warriors, and these Hell Cannons are going to try and get back online, it looks like. But they've done a great job sort of holding this pocket out while the work has been done here. And now you can see, here's the power of these guys, these Thunders. they still got the range and they got enough ammo. They got enough ammo to sort of get shots in an Archaeon, and anyone who comes around, if anyone rallies, these guys can get shots into them. So he's got all this focus on these Chosen with great weapons, and he's trying to shoot down Archaeons. So you see he's getting some damage, and Archaeon's going to want to try and get at least get into some sort of defensive position where he can hide from these guys, and he can sort of get some damage. So he's like, well, okay, I'm just going to pull out and make some room to shoot these guys. So really, really clever. Great move right here to make room to get some shots in with the Thunders. And the Chaos player has his Hell Cannons going to try and get into these Thunders, because now they're tearing them up. Like, these Thunders are coming back. I mean, they only have 4 leadership, but this is the Dowie for you. 4 leadership, but they're still there, and he's got his kind of group together. And these guys over here, they're what? 4 leadership, and they are still fighting against the Chosen. Like, this is absolutely pure dwarf leadership, just tenacity on the field. Like, Longbeard's fighting Chosen with great weapons, and now he's Chaos player's committed to this. He's got Flaming Sword of Ruin on here, and he's trying to get some damage into the Longbeards. We do have this Hell Cannons coming for him, and he decides, okay, I'm just gonna gun down this Hell Cannon as he comes in. Like, oh, just gotta get him. Oh, he hasn't gone over yet. Okay, there he is. You can see the command he's given to try and gun down that one Hell Cannon right there. Oh man, I thought he got him for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, he's going vacillating between here and here, trying to get Archaeon the Everchosen, because he only has 500 hit points left. And okay, so here we go. This has got to be it. This has got to be the last ad. There he goes. Alright, Chaos Dwarf. I can't wait till Chaos Dwarfs come in Game 3. So, still trying to get shots into Archaeon and trying to push these guys away so he can get some clear shots in. He does have this group of Thunders, and this is again the beauty of Thunders. You know, he's going to get some shots into those Chosen. Late, deep into the late game. They're wavering, but they've got 9 leadership, so they're going to be shooting into these Chosen and just whittling them down from afar. And this group is, you know, they're still got plenty of health left. One of the groups does, and you can see Archaeon has been routed again, and there we go. He's got all the shots going into Archaeon. He's been able to kite his units away so his Thunders can get clear shots and you know, get those shots into Archaeon. He's got, what, 50 health left? One more volley. 10 health left. Boom. Archaeon is dead. Now we just have 2 units of Chosen with great weapons, and we do have 1 good solid unit with Thunders. I think, what, yeah, 43 models left on this group. So everyone's kind of collapsed into this spot right here, and that's where sort of the fighting is going. We still do have our Uthar's Raiders in there. We have our Longbeards, and we do have a Runesmith. You can see he's just going to pull away and give room for his Thunders to fire, and that is the end of the battle. So great, fun fight, and man, like, look at those Thunders. Silver Chevron, rank 4. They started with rank 1, and they got a Silver Chevron. They're the ones that killed Archaeon. Great job of these Uthar's Raiders. You cannot let those Uthar's Raiders go. You have to deal with them. Look at the damage they did. They did an immense amount of damage. 63 kills, ridiculous. Thorgrim did really, really good, and it's you know, he would have actually finished this battle would have been over had he noticed those were Chosen back there and had saved Thorgrim with his map-wide buff going. But really good job with the Runesmith. And just look at the numbers on these Longbeards. Just simple Longbeards. 93, 45, 23, 48, and 103. I know there were 2 units of Chaos Marauders, but the rest of the units out here were no joke. 6 by the Slayers and 15 by the Giant Slayers. They did what they had to do. They fulfilled their oath. They shut down the Hell Cannons. And the Hell Cannons, they got in there. They got in a lot of damage before they got shut down. 53 and 38, and all of that was on Thunders. But because he wasn't able to shut down those Thunders, the Dowie just started to go to work. And that's where you see near the end of the game. And this is one of the changes from Game 1 to Game 2 that I've really loved so much about playing the Dwarfs, is they've changed the way exhaustion works, such that defensive factions with high melee defense really come on strong in the 4th quarter, so to say. And you could see it here. It was a Dowie. They just kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and the leadership pulled them through even though they lost Thorgrim. And it was a great fun fight. So anyways, I hope you found that fight interesting. Love to hear from you in the comments, and I will see you soon.